At some point, defendant pushed the female out of the moving vehicle. Damn! So Bricc Baby had a bond hearing the other day, and the paperwork just dropped. And this paperwork interesting as hell, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and get into that. But before we do, you guys already know, if you're new to the channel, I'm gonna need y'all to hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon. That way YouTube notifies you every time I drop a new video. And I'm gonna need everybody to smash the hell out of that like button for me. That way we can get some views on this video. Yeah, I know I stuttered, so what? Still, smash that like button. Let's get into this paperwork. All right, so we're gonna skip over the introduction. All that's talking about is how Bricc Baby threatened Luce and was sending out all these threats on No Jumper and all these different podcasts, and showed Luce what he had in his waistband on that interview they did the night before they got arrested. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and get into the rest of this, and let's go. All right, so defendant is interpreted as discussing criminal activity, including pointing a firearm at his partner and his child. Wow. So, all right, let's go. In the first several months of 2023, defendant was intercepted on multiple count authorized Title III wiretaps, both on his phone and his associate's phone. So they've been investigating him since 2023. They've been listening to everything. All right. Throughout March 2023, defendant discussed how the mother of one of his children accused him of pointing a gun at her, and defendant declaimed it was a lie. See, that's what, man, you be going off these perks and all that, whatever he be on, man. Sometimes you just do stuff and don't even know what you be doing, bro. But on June 20th, 2003, a second person accused defendant of the same conduct. That day, defendant's significant other, KC, stated, "You pulled a gun out on me with your daughter. You pulled a gun out on me in front of your effing daughter. You pointed a gun at me with your B ass." Damn, I'll probably get struck for that one. But defendant responded, I don't give up, B, ever since I've been with you, right? The following day, defendant argued with Casey again about her picking up her daughter, ordering her to take the effing baby outside, and you stupid B. You sit in the house all day, you duck H, or 304. Casey told defendant she could not walk or drive because defendant effed up her leg and that he was the one who hit on people. Defendant responded, man, on 6-0, shut the F up, B. I just told you, you could keep playing with her. You just want to see her. Defendant told Casey to leave and said that they were done. On the same day, Casey again stated, it's so effed up that you can't even apologize for that you do. You never apologize for threatening me or for treating me bad, pulling a gun out on me like this. It's cool for you, but you want me to do for you. You talking about you don't want me. You got stuff you got going on. See, it's kind of hard to read in these first couple of minutes. Once we get past like the mark, we gonna go ahead and go full blast on what they're saying. All right, so just bear with me. All right, just bear with it. Blank, they got you going on, but you got the blank you got going on, but you gonna pull it out on me and my child though, right? Defendant responded on 6-0. On 6-0, yeah. I don't get it. I don't give up, B. I don't give a, I don't. On 6-0 crip. All right, that was my best Bricc Baby impersonation. I don't know. Following the above mentioned calls, okay, firearms and ammunition recovered from defendant's home. Following the above mentioned calls, law enforcement obtained search warrants for defendant's home, car, and person. Inside of his home, law enforcement found the 3 firearms and ammunition listed in count 2 of the indictment: a .380 caliber pistol, a 9mm caliber pistol, and a 5.56 .45 caliber assault rifle firearm. Okay, so 5.56 assault rifle, whatever, and over 125 rounds of ammunition. Defendant tried to drop some of the firearms and ammunition from his balcony into the courtyard of his apartment. Hey, you guys remember on No Jumper when Bricc was talking about when he got raided and he said he went out onto the balcony and they had the lasers on him? He said that on No Jumper. Now they're saying he was trying to dump stuff off the balcony in that incident. So the stuff that he's been saying on No Jumper is true. It's real. Defendant is recorded on intercepted calls making other admissions. Throughout the remaining period of wiretaps, defendant made countless assertions of threats pertaining to violent conduct and weapons possession. For example, on February 20th, 2023, defendant stated that he did not respect the elders in his gang and would pop anyone on 6 out. On 6 out. On March 6, 2023, defendant was on the phone with his mother, the proposed surety here. So they were trying to get him to, they were trying to release him to his mother, right? And found the mother of his child outside of his house. He told his mother that the mother of his child was in gangland and wanted to expire early. Defendant asked the mother of his child if she wanted to die in front of her son. On 6 out. As defendant's mother screamed at him to stop because he may be being recorded. See? Mama was trying to tell him. He didn't want to listen. On March 6, 2023, defendant told KC that the police were acting stupid, that he was tired of doing what they told him to do. What? Did I just read that right? Hold on. On March 6, 2023, defendant told KC that the police were acting stupid and that he was tired of doing what they told him to. What was the police telling him to do? Is it true Bricc Baby been working since 2023 at least? Is that true? That's what it's starting to sound like, right? That he was ready to shoot the mother of his child. Later that day, defendant told another unidentified male that he can kill the mother of his child. On 6 out. On March 28, 2023, defendant said that he would body slam the mother of his child on her neck to stop playing with him. In the same call, defendant discussed how it felt to kill someone and to have to go to school and play basketball that next day. Wow. So y'all remember that phone call not too long ago between Sharice and Brick's baby's mama, and Bricc Baby mama sounded real fed up. And everybody was, questioning like, yo, he ain't been in there that long. How you sounding this fed up already? Now we know why. Because it sounded like she was starting to get fed up before he even went in. But that's none of my business. All right, so defendant continues to threaten violence and carry firearms. In addition to intercepted calls online, defendant continued to threaten violence, carry firearms, and discuss both. For example, in March 2024, defendant crashed out. Wow, they put crashed out in the paperwork. Defendant crashed out at his place of employment, threatening to shoot people and eventually fighting a security guard. Defendant later admitted in separate interviews that he had a firearm on him during the altercation and that he brought his daughter with him to the studio. So is that when he got that's when he got hemmed up by homeboy, right? When he got choked out, supposedly. All right, so in June 2024, defendant argued over the phone with an individual and claimed he had killed more people than the other had fought. Oh, so that's when he was talking about loose cannon. Okay. Defendant stated that he swore it to be true on his 4 babies, which he repeated many times. In later attempting to downplay this claim, defendant stated that even if he had on one murder, that he would be more than the other person had fights. So yeah, that was the whole confrontation between him and loose cannon. I got more bodies than you got squabbles on 6-0. So on March 18, 2025, the same individual who defendant previously threatened and claimed to have more skulls than he had squabbles joined the same podcast. During the filming, defendant showed that he had a handgun in his waistband. And they go on to show a picture of it. Sheesh. They included pictures, picturamas, diagrams. Bricc is done. This is a federal offense all in itself. I think he's looking at like 9 years for this. Defendant is charged with repeatedly possessing a firearm and ammunition despite numerous felony convictions. Defendant is now charged with multiple counts of possessing a firearm and ammunition, all in violation of 18 USC whatever. The first charge stems from defendant shooting 3 bullets in a business parking lot in July 2022 to ward off would-be robbers. The second charge, now hold on. hold on. Because let that be anybody else. And they knew who it was. They knew he was a felon who was under disability, firearms disability. They would have went and picked him up immediately. This happened in 2022. He didn't get arrested for this. So that's kind of strange to me. Either he was working then, or he started working then, or they just sat on him and wanted to investigate him for whatever reason and didn't go get him right away for another 3 years. That's crazy. The second charge involves all the firearms and ammunition found at his home in June 2023. Both of these charges followed 5 felony convictions from 2010, 2012, 2014, 16, and 20. So damn near every 2 years, respectively. While the pretrial services report includes a longer criminal history with out-of-state convictions. The morning of defendant's instant arrest, he had an unsecured firearm, ammunition in reach of his young child. On March 19, 2025, law enforcement arrested defendant on the felon in possession charges in the indictment at his residence in Gardenia, California. With his significant other and young child, agents found a Glock 26 firearm and 17-round Glock magazine with 16 rounds of 9mm ammunition, as well as another magazine with 16 rounds of 9mm ammunition. Defendant kept all of that unsecured despite residing with his significant other and child. He had already threatened with a firearm before. Despite being arrested with all the firearms and ammunition at his residence in June 2023, despite his many felony convictions prohibiting him from possessing firearms or ammunition, and despite California Penal Code 32310 prohibiting possession of large capacity magazines, i.e. those holding more than 10 rounds. Wow, I didn't know that. I thought that was only for assault rifles. Huh. Defendant's criminal history is full of violence and supervision violations. As shown in the pretrial services report, the indictment itself. Defendant's multiple firearms and ammunition possession charges in this case are far from defendant's first crime. Now they're going into some narcotics charge from 2006, reckless evading from 2010, 2012, 2014 narcotics convictions, 2016 criminal threats conviction. Wow. 2020 robbery conviction. High-speed chase barricade incident that the defendant glamorized in his music. Local rapper arrested after standoff. That's Bricc right there in the with the red pants and the neon hoodie. Okay. That was weird. Misdemeanors, arrest, and other conduct as a juvenile. There's something I really want to get into here that I read earlier. Wow, he's even got fraud crimes. Okay, so here they're going to go into some fraud crimes. Defendant's crimes do not pertain only to violence and weapons possession. Defendant is currently under investigation for fraudulently applying for FEMA benefits by claiming to be a renter of a property in Pasadena, California, destroyed in the Eaton fire in January 2020. Damn. Moreover, in his digital devices seized during his previous arrest, defendant was in possession of multiple social security numbers, addresses, and other personal identifying information that he had bought on WhatsApp. Defendant even had a photograph of a driver's license with his photograph but a different name, address, and state. Defendant was detained based on risk of flight and danger on March 19, 2025. This court ordered defendant detained pending trial based on risk of non-appearance and danger to the community. This court found detention to be appropriate based on defendant's history of characteristics, including his criminal record of fugitive arrest and violating parole and probation conditions, as well as insufficient bail resources. So he didn't have the money to make the bail. Defendant's safety risk due to the nature of seriousness of the instant charges and his criminal history, which includes numerous convictions, some of which were violent. Okay, so now we're going to read the nature of the circumstances of the offense, or offenses. The nature and circumstances of defendant's offenses unequivocally weigh in favor of detention. Defendant's offenses possessing multiple firearms on multiple occasions and over 125 rounds of ammunition, some of which he fired, are serious. That defendant fired at would-be robbers in a business parking lot and less than a year later was found with firearms after purportedly pointing them at his partner and child, only confirm that defendant should not be possessing firearms. Not to mention his multiple prior felony convictions, each of which alone prohibit him from possessing them. His counted possession of another firearm and even more ammunition at his home with his child during the latest arrest only further corroborates the need for his detention. Moreover, defendant faces a statutory maximum of 15 years for each count. 15 years for each count. As currently charged due to defendant's extensive criminal history, likely rendering him in criminal history category, 5, 4, I don't know, I can't read Roman numerals, V. And with enhancements for the type and number of firearms and obstruction of justice, defendant faces a likely guidelines range of 92 to 115 months imprisonment based on the total offense level of 24. Below other guidelines and calculations based on the information currently known. So if you guys want to do the math on that, how many years that equivalates to, y'all go ahead and put that down in the comment section. Shit. How? Y'all know what I meant. Damn. I think 115 months is like 9 years. But there was something else that I wanted to, it caught my eye and I wanted to find it and read it with you guys. All right, so this is what I wanted to go back and read for you guys. Because in 2010, Bricc got charged with reckless evading involving assault with a deadly weapon. This is wild. I wanted to read this, go back and read this for you guys. Listen. In 2010, defendant's criminal charges escalated with a charge of assault with a deadly weapon with great bodily injury, likely and a conviction for evading a peace officer with disregard for safety. Defendant was sentenced to 365 days in jail, so 1 year, and 3 years probation, a violation of which resulted in 2 years confinement. According to certified conviction records and police reports for the original crime, police saw a sex worker enter defendant's car. The defendant then sped off upon seeing police. Defendant led police on a high-speed chase through stop signs and red lights. At some point, defendant pushed the female out of the moving vehicle. Damn! The victim landed on her face and defendant ran over her thigh with his car. Jeesh! The victim later stated that she asked to be let out of the car multiple times, but defendant refused until he later threw her out. The victim also stated that defendant said that he had something he needed to get rid of during the chase and threw a handgun out the window. Man, so it ain't looking too good for your boy old Bricc out here. He's definitely not getting bond, and it sounded to me like A, he's been working, and B, he about to get cooked on these charges. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think down there in the comment section. Man, he definitely shouldn't have tried to go do anything on the internet with this kind of criminal record and knowing he was still under investigation. That was real stupid of him. And then just got on there and just completely crashed out. Whatever. On 6-0 crap. That's my video for today, you guys. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit the bell icon. That way YouTube notifies you every time I drop a new video. And guys, when you get those notifications, watch the video, man. That helps the video get into the YouTube algorithm, which helps the video get more views. And what else you guys can do? You guys can hit that like button and drop me a quick comment. It's all free for you guys to do. It all helps the video. It all helps the channel bring in extra revenue. But you guys, I want to thank you guys in advance. For now, it's your boy King Charm. I'm about this bitch. Peace.